Start.
Do you have one of those?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Enoch Amatayo, the Principal Action Council President, also known as PAC.
Hello, everybody. My name is Thea San, and I'm the Vice President of the Principal's Action Council.
So for those who do not know, the Principal Action Council operates to serve between the student body and leadership. Together we work in making sure that school is more inclusive by addressing the underlying needs of students while helping them become dedicated global citizens through embracing culture, collaboration, and critical thinking.
Today, we will be hosting the Love Shouldn't Hurt Teen Domestic Violence event. This event is annually held by Councilmember Jolene Ivey in partnership with Congressman Glenn Ivey. We have a panel of esteemed guest speakers, as well as members of the Principal's Action Council. These members include our Chief of Staff, Lisa Adere, Events Chair, Amber Ware, and our PAC member, Ayema Owana. If you have any questions throughout today's presentation, please feel free to scan the QR code posted on the screen.
With that being said, it's my distinct honor to introduce our president, Dr. Gordon Brown.
Thank you, Enoch. Man, so excited to have this conversation today. Before we get started, let's get a little bit celebration out of the way. So, can I get a clap for the class of 2024? You guys are doing a great job. And so, let me talk about that for a quick moment. Every quarter, we look at the average GPA and percentage of students on honor roll for each class. And Charles Flowers is unique in that we have over 50% of our student body, overall student body, on honor roll. So let's clap it up for that. But the class of 2024 is just a little special, right? A little more special, right? And so Mr. Burrows and I, we crunch numbers. That's your administrator in the back. Give it up for Mr. Burrows. So we crunch numbers, and so first quarter, you guys had the distinct honor of having the highest percent of students on the honor roll. I think it was 64% of the 11th graders were on honor roll first quarter. The second quarter, we did the math again, and you guys above 60% again. So you guys are getting it, man. I'm really excited about this class because since we transitioned back from the pandemic, man, we have been trying to find out where you are and find ways to best engage you, right? So the academic piece is one part of it. And so the academic part will open up doors for you guys to ensure that you have opportunities to be successful at the secondary level. We're going to college, we have great careers, we're going to be able to take care of our families, we're going to be able to lead our communities. But the academic piece of that opens that door. But that's not it. If that was just it, we'd be well on our way. There are some essential life skills that we have to acquire in order to guarantee that success. You guys have encountered it. I'm sure you've known people who are super duper smart but have problems with traversing life. Right? So not only do we have to be super intelligent with our IQ, but we need to be super analytical and reflective as it relates to our EQ, our emotional quotient. And so that emotional quotient measures things like, how we deal with adversity. How we're able to communicate with people that don't always look like or think like us. A big problem in our country is not everybody, we can communicate with the people that look like and think like us very well, but when it comes to communicating with people that have differing viewpoints, we have challenges. So a part of EQ is doing that. And so a really big part of EQ is how we manage conflict. Right? And so what we noticed as you guys came back is that after being in your room on Zoom for 2 years, how you manage conflict was a challenge. And so we noticed a lot of situations went from 0 to 100. You know, not a lot of talking. We going straight from I don't like her, she rolled her eyes at me, and now we're ready to fight. Or I'm involved in a relationship, and he looked at her, and she looked at him, so they must like each other, and so I don't like her because of that. So it is our job at Charles Herbert Flowers High School to ensure that we're teaching you guys how to traverse these most essential relationships that you have with one another. And so I am so excited that we have leaders in our district that see that goal, that embrace the opportunity and drop everything that they're doing to come in and provide that type of support. So with that being said, I'd like to bring up Congressman Glenn Ivey and County Councilwoman Jolene Ivey, who are leading us in this conversation today.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. It is so wonderful to be here with you today. And I'm Jolene Ivey. I'm on the County Council. I represent District 5, where we are right now in Prince George's County. And I love working with your school. I love your principal. The students here are so smart. And you all just have so much going on. So I'm glad to be here with you today. I've got my wonderful husband with me. We've been married almost 35 years. All right, and we have 6 children. He's got a daughter from before, and we have 5 sons together. And our youngest son is just a few years older than you are. He just turned 23. So we've been through. Raising teen boys, not easy, let me tell you. But we're happy to be here with you today. And this is such an important topic because, you know, as a mother, I'm very concerned about how my kids learn and how they interact with others. And number one, I wouldn't want them to ever be abusive to anyone. But I also want to make sure that they know how to stand up for their friends. That if they see somebody else being abused, or if they think somebody's in a bad situation, that they know to speak up. That's something that frankly, more men need to do, to pull up on their friends. If you see your friend mistreating a woman, don't let it stand. I want you to speak up. And that's something that we're teaching our sons. They're young adults now, but you never stop teaching them. And I have my husband here, Glenn Ivey. He used to be state's attorney of Prince George's County. And he was recently sworn in, finally, as the congressman in District 4, which you were also in. So thanks for being here today, for your attention. We have a wonderful panel of speakers. We have giveaways. So I think that you'll be excited about those. And here is my husband, Glenn Ivey.
Thank you, David. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. How you doing today? All right. Thanks so much, all. Thank you for putting this together. To your leadership team here at the high school, and obviously to my beautiful wife. I really think it's important for you all to make sure you stay ahead of the curve on all these kinds of things. Just one point real quick I want to emphasize. This is a focus on teens, but I want you to be sure you understand that adults have the same problems too. As my wife just said, I just got elected to Congress. And you might not have watched the State of the Union, but there was a woman in the audience who was yelling at the president while he was speaking. We got to do better than that, right? I appreciate the fact that you all are already doing better than that this morning, all right? Thanks so much for your great conduct. And one quick comment, too. My wife was just talking about intervening. And an analogy I like to use is anybody that plays sports or watches sports, football is happening right now, Super Bowl's on Sunday. Whenever a player gets so mad at a ref and he starts going towards the ref, somebody always intervenes. Never seen anybody not stop someone from going after the ref. You know why? Because they know that it'll hurt the team and it'll immediately be a problem. But they always make sure nothing goes forward with them. Same with basketball, you name the sport, they always step in. Your lives are more important than any game. Whenever there's a situation like that, you should intervene just like you would on a football field or a basketball field, right? Right? All right. So we got some great speakers here today. We're going to turn it back over. But thanks so much for coming this morning, but also being leaders in the community, in the school, but across the country. We need folks like you to step up for the next generation. Keep up the great work and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Congressman Ivey and Councilwoman Ivey, for that amazing presentation. Next up, we're going to bring up Dr. McCain. She's the director of the Prince George's County Family Justice Center, and she has a short presentation for you all.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I know it's early, but I'm expecting to hear from you. Good morning. Thank you. It is such a pleasure for me to be here. As you heard, I'm the director of the Family Justice Center. We are a resource here in Prince George's County, and our primary focus is to assist survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and other abuse. And because of the work that we do, I largely speak to adults. So for me to have the opportunity to be here today to talk to a group of young people is really my pleasure. And quite frankly, this is really the population that we should be speaking to, because this is learned behavior. Much of what I see with adults that come to the Family Justice Center, they didn't just get into these relationships that have now become violent and abusive. It's something that they learned or were probably dealing with at your age, and no one ever intervened, or they never had the opportunity to really learn what a healthy relationship should look like. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. I'm hoping that you'll find it interactive, and hopefully you'll walk away with some tools so that you don't find yourself in these situations. I also want to just mention very quickly that the month of February is recognized as National Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And this is the time that around the country, the focus is being put on teens. And as Congressman Ivey said, this is not just an issue that impacts teens. We know adults are also dealing with this issue, but we're focusing on teens right now. I'm hoping to have sound. I don't know if you were able to take care of that for me. But I want to start out with a little quiz. And before I even do the quiz, I want to just ask you all a question. How many of you, and don't be shy, your parents aren't here, and your teachers are happy that you're going to participate. How many of you are in dating relationships right now? Just raise your hand. And this is a relationship that both people know that you're in, not just one person. Okay? So I see a few hands up. Okay, let's bring it back. Those of you that have your hands up, if you don't, have you ever been in a situation where your partner, boyfriend or girlfriend, has been abusive to you? Okay, let's bring it back again. And the problem that I'm having right now is that some of you are talking about it, but it's really a very serious situation. I think the problem that we have, excuse me, can I get your attention again? I think the problem that we're having is that much of what you are experiencing has been normalized. That you think that calling each other names, hitting, pushing, slapping, which is all a part of it, has become normal. And that is not what a healthy relationship should look like. So I have a quick quiz here, and I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to raise your hands. So here's the first question. Your boyfriend or girlfriend cares enough about you and wants you to look nice, so he or she picks out your outfits for you. Is that healthy or not? That would be considered abusive. Okay, I need your cooperation, please. Bring it back down. Your boyfriend or girlfriend loves you enough to call or text you every hour and ask where you are and who are you with. I'm assuming you recognize that as being abusive. Your boyfriend or girlfriend respects you, or respects that you have other friends and commitments, but sometimes wants to spend time with your other friends. Yes, that is healthy.
As long as it's finished,
Your boyfriend or girlfriend
and then if
is
you could just hold on to the
finds
things, okay?
out that you are with other people. And then the last one, your boyfriend or girlfriend lets you have whatever friends and extracurricular activities. Absolutely. So you get an idea of what healthy and unhealthy behaviors look like. They could be very subtle. You could think that because your boyfriend or girlfriend just wants to be with you all the time, it means they're really into you. And that's really a little controlling and it's unhealthy. I hope we have sound here because I want to play this little video for you very quickly. It's a short clip. And this is called the line because it's very easy to cross over that line from becoming a loving, healthy partner to an abusive partner. Oops. Okay. Oh, IT. Help me go back. I clicked too fast. Okay, here we go.
Hey, babe. Where are you? What are you doing? Okay, who are you with? Wait, stop. I hear guys in the background. What's going on? Okay, what are you doing? Why not? No, listen, you remember what I said about your parents. They're just trying to control your life. No, I'm just looking out for you. I love you. Hey, if you love me, you'd be hanging out with me.
Okay, so you saw how very quickly and how easy what looked like concern became control. And those are some of the red flags or things that you want to be aware of. So my question to you, and what I'm going to ask you, will tell you that basically abuse, whether it be an adult or a teen, it's always about power and control. And person is a pattern of behavior, whether it's emotional, verbal, or physical. It's used by one person to gain control over the other person. And you saw that in that clip. Where are you? Who are you with? Why aren't you with me? These are some of the signs, and this is the reason why you know that this is a problem. And I'm going to go through these kind of quickly because we do have another speaker that's going to add some elements to what I'm talking about. But again, this is a very common problem. It's happening. We know that approximately 1 in 11 female and 1 in 14 male high school students have reported being physically abused by a dating partner. The key here is not just girls. Boys are also victims of abuse. Please know that. In fact, some of these girls, none of you in here, are very aggressive, have very aggressive behaviors. So be mindful of that. About 1 in 8 females and 1 in 126 male high school students have reported experiencing sexual abuse during a violent incident last year. Girls between the ages of 16 and 24 experience the highest rate of dating violence, and only 33% of teens who were in an abusive relationship ever told anyone about the abuse, and that is also a problem. You have to speak up about this. Whether it's you or a friend, silence perpetuates violence. It's very important that you speak up.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. So as you can hear, this is a very important topic. You don't know which one of your friends, family members could be going through this, and you wouldn't know. All of our members here have taken time out of their very busy schedules to come out and speak. So if you could please make sure that you're giving them your undivided attention and you're not moving around. We do have administrators throughout the auditorium who can remove you if needed. So make sure that you are not causing an unwanted distraction. Thank you.
Thank you for that, I appreciate it. So as I said, this is a very serious issue. And again, these are actual live accounts of real people. On November 10th, this young lady, Estrella Mosley, was stabbed to death with an 8-inch knife after being chased up the stairs of a hallway school. This happened in school. This happened at school. Her boyfriend did this because they had just broken up. This is another example of another woman, a young lady, June of 2011. Lauren Astley from Lyman, Massachusetts. She was also found dead. She was strangled by her boyfriend. Again, after having broken up. Another example, February of 2012. Javier de la Rosa from Brownsville was also sentenced to 90 years in prison after being convicted of stabbing his ex-girlfriend 48 times, again after a breakup. The common element here is about the power and control. Dating abuse, any form of domestic abuse, is really, again, it's about power and control. It doesn't always have to look like physical violence. And that's what most people associate abuse with: hitting, slapping, kicking, pushing. Those are the obvious signs, but there are also other forms of abuse, such as emotional or verbal abuse. A person who's constantly putting you down, calling you names, belittling you, deflecting responsibility from their actions. You made me do this. If you hadn't said that, or if you hadn't gone out with those people, I would be upset with you. Those are all forms of it. The isolating, not wanting you to be with your friends. You saw that in the clip. Jealousy. Those are all forms of emotional abuse. Then, of course, there's sexual abuse. We know what that looks like. Or sexual coercion. Forcing someone to engage in sexual acts without consent. There's also what we know about the stalking. Unwanted, constant attention. People that follow you, calling you, staying around you, and you do not ask for that type of attention. And something that you all have probably a lot more of and don't even realize what's going on is the digital abuse. Those cell phones. Someone that's constantly checking on you, texting you, taking your phone, going into your phone without you even asking or knowing about it. Being threatened with messages. This is also a form of it. And I'm going to hurry up because, again, we have an episode, but a little short story. My children are now adults, a 38 and a 35-year-old. When my daughter was in high school, I was trying to find her. I called her girlfriend to see if she was with her. Voicemail came on. Guess whose voice was on the voicemail? Her boyfriend's. It was, "Hi, this is John," I don't remember his name. "This is Brittany's cell phone. She's not here, leave a message." Now she thought that was cool. And I immediately said to her, "Why is his voice on your phone?" Very subtle sign of control. Very subtle sign. It was letting anybody that called her knew that was her man. And that you had to go through him, whether directly or indirectly, to get to her. So again, be very much aware of that, mindful of these things. One of the questions that came from the PAC team was, why do teens abuse? There are lots of reasons why. But looking at some of the most prevalent, what research is showing is that boys do it more so to gain and maintain control. Girls typically self-defense. But as I started out saying, this is learned behavior. Many of you witness abuse, sometimes in your home. Your parents don't talk to each other in healthy ways, or you're seeing it on movies, videos. These are things that indirectly and very subtly influence the way that you interact with others. You heard your principal, Dr. Brown, talk about healthy engagement. These are the reasons. And then anger. People are angry. I believe that, Ms. Wade, are you going to talk about red flags? Okay. There are some key things to look for, as I talked about before: the jealousy, the possessiveness that's controlling, not being able to make your own decisions, keeping tabs on you, the obsessive calling and texting, the digital monitoring. They're putting you down, insults, humiliation, intimidation. Also limiting your contact with your family members and friends, wanting them to be with you all the time. That is not healthy. It's not healthy. And again, if someone says, if you leave me, if you're not with me, I'm going to kill myself, I can't live without you, they're not going to do that. That is another way to control you, to keep you there in that relationship. I mentioned before that only 33% of teens who were in abusive relationships ever told anyone. But again, I purposely showed you the clips of those young ladies that lost their lives. This is not a game. And no one ever thinks that it would happen to them. No one ever thinks they're going to get killed. But it's that serious, understood. So again, please make sure that you're talking to someone, whether it be a friend, a trusted adult. Don't keep this to yourself. It's much, much too serious for that. Keeping this a secret is not the way to handle the situation. Of course, I know that this can be embarrassing. You can feel threatened. You don't want to talk about it, as well as the fact that you're concerned. You don't want other people to know, particularly your parents, because you're afraid that you could lose privileges, so they won't like your girlfriend or boyfriend anymore. Don't hide it. Talk about it. Again, just getting help very quickly if you're ever in a serious relationship or danger. Don't play. Call 911. They will be there. That's what they're here for. There are national resources for you. Love is Respect. It's a very easy hotline to remember, loveisrespect.org. And you can also reach out to us at the Family Justice Center. We do not provide services to teens unless, of course, 18 or older without a parent's consent, but we would be there for you as a resource for information. You have helping others, so I'm going to leave that. And then, lastly, I want you all to do this for me. Ms. Wade, who's going to speak to you now, is going to talk to you about wearing orange and teen dating abuse and all the things that go with that. But I want you all to commit today that you are not going to be a statistic, that you are going to actually engage in healthy behaviors with your peers, particularly in dating relationships. And I'm going to ask you to please indulge me and read this pledge with me. So, are you ready? I pledge. I pledge. Let's read. To show respect in all my relationships, online and in person. I understand that healthy relationships are free from pressure, control, and threats. I will trust my instincts and tell someone I trust. Like a friend, parent, or teacher. If someone is crossing my line. Thank you all very much. This is my information. Take a picture of it. If you need help, please reach out. Thank you.
Wasn't that a wonderful presentation? A lot of very valuable information. I hope you guys are paying attention and were able to take a picture of the presentation. Next up, we have Mrs. Carlotta Wade from Marion Parks and County. She's in charge of the Domestic Violence Awareness Program. So give a round of applause for her.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I work for Parks and Recreation and do domestic violence for teens called Teen Summit. And it's been 10 years since we've been doing it. We have giveaways here for you, so we're excited to be here. This is Bree.
Hi everyone, I'm Bria. I'm 17 and I go to Lee High School. I'm in the 12th grade.
So before I get started, how many people are going to celebrate Valentine's Day? You're going to bring balloons to school, you're going to bring candy, you're going to do all those things, right? Raise your hand if you're like, I'm not going to participate in that. The reason why I say that is because people use social media holidays to really show affection for people, right? I've seen people on social media hugging, kissing, doing all types of things, but behind the scenes, they're not happy, right? How many people have seen that? You see people online, they faking, you know they're not really together, right? But our insecurities make us do things that we probably would not normally do, right? I always tell young people, who wants to be with them? Everybody wants a boyfriend or girlfriend, correct? Raise your hand. Exactly. Which means you don't want to be alone. So I'm going to be with this person on Valentine's Day because why? Can somebody tell me, scream out, why are you going to be with that person? Exactly. But I've talked to some people that want to break up, but because it's a special holiday, or if they think they're going to get a gift, they're going to stay. They want to take pictures. They want to be on Instagram. They want to be on TikTok. They want to do all of those things instead of looking out for themselves. So what I would like to tell everybody is Valentine's Day is one day. You do not have to participate in anything that is unhealthy or anything you do not want to do. Everybody loves receiving gifts. I know people who stay in relationships because they love receiving gifts. Raise your hand if you don't like to receive gifts. Exactly, right? So everybody's looking for something. So I'm going to stay with this person. Yes, he calls me names. Yes, he might push me around. Yes, I don't like the way that he talks to me. Yes, he isolates me, but I love him. And he buys me gifts. I hear that all the time. That is not being in a healthy relationship. What would you like to add?
I would like to add that everything that you see on social media may not be all as it seems. The most important parts of the relationships are what happens behind closed doors, not what you see on social media. So that the rose petals, all the gifts, they may be struggling mentally. And love is the main point of Valentine's Day, not the cute gifts. So if you really don't love that person, there's not really anything that you should be saying.
Period. I also want to say that we have begun to normalize abuse. You see on social media, girls hitting boys, pushing, calling names, and just like choking. Yes, choking.
I know some of think that's cute, but it's still violence. Choking is not cute. Violence is not cute.
Exactly. So what I want to say is, I know some people is, I want to say, pass down from generation to generation. You saw your mom, you saw your grandparents, you see your uncles, you see your friends, so you think it's okay. Young ladies, it is not okay to hit young men and expect them not to hit you back. Okay. Everyone should keep their hands to themselves. I'm going to say that one more time. Everyone should keep their hands to themselves. Abuse is abuse. It is not cute just because you feel like the gentleman is not going to hit you back that you should hit them. And some of that girls go hard. It is not cute, and it's definitely you can bring charges against, someone can bring charges against you. So please, everyone, keep your hands to yourself. And I also want to add that Dr. King added about sexual abuse.
One thing I would like to add that I don't know if you teens know it or not. If you are sending pictures of yourself to someone, and you know the kind of pictures I'm speaking of, and that person sends those pictures to someone else, that is a third-degree felony. Let me say that one more time so you can be clear on what I'm saying to you. If you send pictures of your body parts to someone, or if you send pictures or video of things that you're doing to someone, and they share that information with others, that is a third-degree felony. Raise your hand if you did not know that. It is definitely a felony. So ladies and gentlemen, please, please stop sending pictures of yourself. Stop sending videos of whatever you're doing, because it can be serious. There's a case going on right now at another high school where two individuals were doing things they wasn't supposed to do. The person, the young man, sent it out to his friends. Parents got involved. Now it's a court case. Embarrassing all the way around, right? Do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I know some of you may feel pressure, and a lot of the sending of the pictures comes from you feeling insecure about yourself. And just because you don't see your worth, or that other person doesn't see your worth, doesn't mean that you're not worth something. So you don't have to send pictures to somebody to get them to love you or get them to appreciate you. They should already feel you.
Correct. And I also want to touch on mental health. Someone's being unstable is not your concern or problem, and you cannot make it your concern or your problem. Oh, he doesn't mean it. He comes from an abusive household. He really does love me. The best thing you can do for that person is to supply them with resources, tell an adult so they can get help. You cannot be a savior for people who have mental health challenges, because what happens is that energy transforms to you. And the next thing you know, you're happy, but then when you see this person, then you begin to be unhappy. Then your mood swings. Then you call on your friend, well, he did this, she did that. So the best advice that I can give everyone in here is, if someone is having mental health challenges, please, please tell an adult and get that person some help, because you cannot help that person when it comes to mental health. Mental health is such an important part of people's growth. And right now is the perfect time to seek help for yourself and for others, so you can begin to understand what a healthy relationship looks like and participate in making those actions work. Another thing I want to talk about quickly is anger management. Some of you people get angry over the smallest things, and you have to realize what is making you so angry that you want to transfer that anger onto other people, right? You are not allowed by law to take out your anger on other people. And a person that's being abused, you do not have to take that out. It doesn't matter if somebody's having a bad day. It doesn't matter if somebody did something to that person. That is not your responsibility. So when people say, I'm a ride or die, you totally misunderstand what that statement means. It doesn't mean that you ride or die for your own safety. It doesn't mean you ride or die for your own mental health. And it definitely doesn't mean you ride or die for your own physical being. I hope everybody understood that. You want to answer that?
I'd like to add that everyone makes choices. Your choices start from when you wake up out of bed, choose what to wear. You make choices on a day-to-day basis. So you have the power to choose. It's up to you to choose to make better and healthy decisions, and part of that is realizing and understanding that, okay, I have been abusive to this person. It's not healthy to me, it's not healthy to them, and you need to get the help that you need.
Thank you, Bria. One of the last things I want to talk about is a safety plan. Raise your hand if you've ever made a safety plan. A safety plan. A safety plan is actions that you take to lower your risk of being abused. Everyone in here should really make a safety plan so you would never be abused, or you can recognize the signs of being abused. One of the things I want to say first is find one adult in your life
not your parents, if it's not a teacher or counselor, it's one person that you can talk to if there's ever a problem. I have some magnets on my table that I partnered with the Department of Family Services, 211, 24/7, you can call them, 211. If you can't feel like you don't have an adult, you can dial 211 and there'll be somebody who don't know you. And you don't have to lie, you don't have to pretend, you don't have to be scared. You can be open and honest. Because frankly, a lot of times people don't want to share because one, it's embarrassing. Two, you think somebody's going to tell. Three, you don't want to seem like you're the bad person. But when it comes to your mental health and being safe, it's never been about a bad person. It's about doing what's best for you. The next thing I want to talk about in the safety plan is when you have friends and sometimes you don't know how to support somebody who don't want to be supported, listen. That's all you can do is just listen and take notes, right? And then that person can find an adult. If you don't have the answers, an adult should have the answers. Your friends will thank you later. They might be mad at you at first, but they'll thank you later because why? You're helping to keep them safe. The worst thing you can do is if a friend continuously to be in an abusive relationship, stay is like, you know what, I can't be bothered with her because that's just too much for me, and you don't distance yourself from that person. Then that person is isolated, and then the abuser has more control. As long as you can stay in that person's life and be a listening ear, that person would definitely come around, and you will be able to support that person with resources. We have plenty of resources here on the table. The 211, you have counselors in the center, here at your school. There's always somebody that you can go to. Now we have social media. There's places that you can go on YouTube now that you can kind of dial in and talk to somebody if you're having some problems. To close out, want to say something before I close out?
Just because your friend doesn't want support, I know we all have those other friends, doesn't mean that you should stop helping them. That's what they need the most, even if it's being there to listen, telling their parents. I know that may be extreme, or you may be scared of being a snitch, but when it comes to the safety and well-being of your friend, there's no such thing as snitching. There's no such thing. It's helping them, even if it's telling your principal, telling any adult, like you said, reaching out to a phone number. You need to get them help. That's the first thing. You need to also just be there to support them.
So, in closing, I just want to say, like we said, Valentine's is for people who are in love or in heaven life. If you feel like that's not you, please do not participate. I get so many calls the day after Valentine's Day about people being abused on that night because they just wanted to stay in there for the gram, for TikToks, for the likes. It is not about that. It's about what's best for you. And remember, greater in you is greater than anything outside in this world because God only made one of you, right? And if something happens to you, your family and friends will be devastated. I know sometimes people say they feel alone, nobody like me. That is such an untruth. And I'm pretty sure if you sit down and close your eyes and think about it, there's plenty of people out here will love you and keep you. That's all I have. I have so many giveaways down here. I'm not sure how they want to give them out. But please check out one of our community centers. We always have things that's going on. If you need jobs, we are starting to hire for the summer. Please go to www.pgparts.com and apply. Thank you.
If somebody passes or whatever, they might have you go.
Thank you guys so much for giving all of our speakers your attention today. We are getting ready to close out, but as you heard earlier, we are starting with our giveaways. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, does anybody have any questions for any of our panelists today? No one has any questions? Come up to these mics if you have a question. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can come up to these mics. And we're also going to be asking y'all some trivia questions. So if y'all want, we have some surprises back here for the people that ask questions and answer questions. We have some surprises back here. If you got a question, you got to come down here though.
Oh, I think they actually have something down here too.
I need y'all to come up here if you have a question. Let's see. All right, we have enough people up here. We're gonna start with these people. Let's start with you. Can y'all settle down for me, please? Can y'all settle down for me, please? Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're gonna start with you, young lady.
What would you say is the most effective way to get out of an abusive relationship safely when it's like physically abusive?
Good question.
So your question is, what do you do to get out of a relationship that's physically?
Yeah, safely.
Well, safety, one of the things is distance yourself. You have to tell somebody, an adult, and then have that adult maybe talk to that person. But the one thing you do is distance yourself. If it's at school, go to your counselor, let them know that you're having problems so they'll be aware of it. If you take classes with that person, let your teacher know. But the most important thing is to distance yourself from that person as much as possible and tell somebody to help you come up with a safety plan.
Yes, I agree with everything she says because you can't do it alone. You can't get help if you're the only person that knows. You need to tell your friends, but more preferably your friends that you know are going to help you, your more proactive friends. Even if you're scared to tell your parents, or maybe you probably have like an aunt or an older cousin, maybe someone that you can trust and reach out.
Hi. My question is, how often do you get calls from friends of people that are being abused?
Sorry, say it again?
How often do you get calls from friends of the people that are being abused?
Often. During the pandemic, we had a young lady who met some people online, that we meet people online, and she lied about her age, lied about your age, and the person wanted her to meet her outside of the home. So she snuck out the house, met this person in the park. He beat her. She was scared to go home, so she called me. The only thing I can say is you can call your parents together. If you want to stay outside and be cold, or go inside, you're chastised in a warm house. Choose. So we called her parents came and got her, we did an intervention, and then we worked from there. So during the pandemic, it was often. Now, I probably would say maybe 2 or 3 times a month. But because we do things like the Teen Summit, and we do things like have LGBTQ event for same-sex, same problems, we bring awareness, we bring resources. People are actually using those resources. So in dialing 211, it's on, you can take the magnet now if you like, but definitely we get calls all the time. And we get calls from parents too who don't know what to do. They know the boyfriend's abusive, they know she's in it, but there's nothing that they can do, or they feel like there's something they can't do.
Thank you so much. We're going to take one last question, and then we're going to start our trivia section. We're going to take the first person that was in this time. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to say, like, how do you tell what's a sort of appropriate level of, like, physical affection? Like, how do you know where it goes from just being nice to, like, overly attached or controlling physically?
I'm going to take her name.
That's a good question, and what I would say to everyone is you actually know the answer to that. If something doesn't feel right, if you're being made to feel uncomfortable, if anything within you tells you, I'm being pressured, I don't really feel good about this, or it makes you uncomfortable, that's the first indication that that is a sign that it's not healthy and you should get out of it. So I would say listen to your instincts most importantly, and know what those indicators are. The red flags, the things that we talked about, if you see any of that, take a second look, step back and say, is this really love or am I being controlled? Did I feel good about the day I was spoken to? Did he hit me or she hit me? Was that called for? Don't put blame on someone else for what they're doing. So just listen to yourself.
Okay, thank you so much for your questions. If you didn't get a chance to ask, you can come and grab your goodie bags from over here. We're going to start our trivia section, so make sure you guys are listening up. I know you've noticed that we are giving away gift cards today. So we're going to start with Kenny's question.
Okay, good morning, everybody. So I got a question. The first question is, I hope you guys were paying attention. When you're going through situations like abuse or domestic violence or etc., what is the number that you're supposed to call? Whoa. Yeah, I was about to, if you got an answer, I think you should raise your hand. So one of the members are going to come. No PAC members. No PAC members. PAC members are excluded.
Kenny said you guys can't.
PAC members are excluded.
So we can answer the question. 211. 211.
That's correct. That's correct. Round of applause. Okay, I got a second question for you guys. So, what is your safety plan? What is the safety plan?
Kenny? Kenny should come back here.
Alright, so does anyone else have another safety plan? What was the question?
The question is, what is your safety plan?
Alright, so who has a safety plan? Favorite. Alright, she said she's going to talk to a counselor or her parent. Alright, who else has a safety plan? The boy right there.
She's right there with the ponytail. She's right there.
I have a question. So what can you do if you feel like it's unsafe for you to tell someone? Like if you feel like the person just wants
So me and my granddad have come to her
That's
maybe
a
once
good
a
question.
month to talk about stuff like that. Basically at the end of every month. So yeah.
So you said you talked to your granddad?
So we're gonna move on. Our next question is, what is a sign that someone is being abused? Okay, I'm gonna start picking people.
you've been taught yeah, because a lot of kids have domestic violence since they think it's normal. They put up with it. So how
He's got a good question.
Their partners.
Randy, ask him. Oh, you want us to ask him? Okay. So, did you hear the question? Yeah. You got it? Okay, so you can ask the question. Or like, we'll let him know. That's a good question. Yeah, okay. He'll ask it for you guys.
I'm trying to ask it for you. I can't.
What if you're too scared?
If you're too scared.
Because it could be something happening in your home. Okay.
Good answer, but I can't give you two gift cards. Who else?
My first question is,
Who else?
like, what if you feel like you can't tell somebody because if the person finds out that you told, then they're just going to be like, oh, you're snitching on me, and then
Yeah.
you just don't think people.
You don't want to be the source.
I'm gonna go to the
And then
next
the second one is if it's happening in your family, like how do you? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Let's
That's a good
take
question.
3 more people for this question.
All right, Liz, I got somebody. Wait.
Snitch. I'm still gonna receive my.
Tell them mine.
Yeah, the question that she had. Her question was, how can you navigate? Basically, how can you? What can you do when your parents? I was about to say, how can you use what you learned from the program to navigate if your parents are in a domestic violence relationship as well?
Okay, I'm taking one last person. What is the sign that someone around you is getting abused? I'm gonna go with
Can I get the next one?
Did you get? I have both. All right. No. Take it. Give your phone to them. Can I take it to them and then show them?
Alright, so we're going to move on to the next question now, which is, who were one of your guest speakers today, and what do they do?
I don't know.
I got someone.
She took my phone.
They're up there. She has. They have your phone.
Congresswoman.
Well, I used the wrong title.
They're at Amber. No, they have a question about your.
Okay, so we didn't only have 2 panelists. I don't know why I only heard 2 responses. If you know the names of our other panelists, I need your hands to go up high right now.
You know what? To make this really short, because we're on time, the first person that comes to the mic.
Oh, you're not good.
It's true. There was Congressman, but I think they're missing. I think her name's Jamila.
One of y'all said it. Her name starts with a C. That's my hint. First one.
Carletta
gets the point. If you say the right name, you cannot get 2 gift cards. It's not a congressman.
No, we already did Miss McCain. We already did
Her
Miss
name starts with a C. Last name W. If you can give me one of her last name.
Carlotta.
Okay. So we're going to move on. So we're going to move on to our last two questions. So pay attention if y'all want to get card.
Shut up. No, it's
If you are the source of asking the concern, you don't want to be known as the snitch. That's the question.
The question is to the panelists. The question is for the panelists.
Can you ask the question again?
The question is for the panelists.
Amber, can you ask the question again?
Okay. There has been a correction. These questions are for our panelists. So, for our panelists, thank you all for being here. But it's not free. Okay, so the first question is, if you are the source of asking the concern, you don't want to be known as the snitch. And then that's a question. So, basically, like, if you are saying what's happening, are you known as the snitch? And how
No. The question is, if you are the one who has the concern, but you don't want other people to know, or this other person to know that you're the one that has the concern and are reporting it, what's the best way to report it?
How do you address it without being known as the snitch?
One of the things you can do is when you talk to an adult, you can tell the adult that you don't want them to know, and you can tell several adults, and maybe tell an adult that the other person don't know, and that way it can be anonymous. Or you can send a note or an email. Now people send anonymous emails all the time, letting somebody know, or you can text an adult, and that way they won't know where it came from.
Thank you so much. And then we have...
So, excuse me, everybody. As everybody's walking out, we just want to let you all know to acknowledge Prince George's Community College. They're the ones who donated